UFC fight 16, I believe, for you. Big one up here, pay-per-view main card. Just how are you kind of feeling going into this week?
Well, I feel great. You know, I think they picked a really good fight to open up the main card and, you know, get the party started. You know, I think me and Mark have similar styles. I think we'll both meet in the middle and, you know, let the hands ride.
Is he a guy that you figured one day you'd cross paths with in this division?
And he's been calling me out since before he was even in the UFC. So, you know, I think, yeah, I knew it was inevitable we'd meet each other.
Does that make it a little personal, like when someone's calling you out for years on years? What do you think about that?
It doesn't matter to me. You know, I'm going to fight somebody. You know, I think it makes it more enticing for the fans to watch when, you know, somebody says, I want to fight this guy over and over and over again. So, you know, he's just going to have to remember after I beat him on Saturday that he asked for that.
He's not really far from this part of Canada, but I suspect that the crowd will be behind him. What do you think the environment's going to be like on Saturday, and do you relish maybe being in hostile territory?
I really wouldn't call Canada hostile territory, dude. I find Brazil, that's a hostile territory. You know, I fought in Toronto, I fought near door in Toronto, and, you know, they were super friendly. I don't really remember getting booed or, you know, them telling me I was going to die. So, you know, this is, you know, it's just another fight for me.
Do you feel like you're pretty locked into middleweight now at this point, or is there still some opportunity to bounce back up again?
You know, I get in where I fit in, but, you know, I really like middleweight. You know, I've done, you know, really try to, like, shrink my size so, like, the weight cuts aren't so hard, you know, running a lot and things like that. And now, you know, I haven't ran at all, you know, for this camp. So, and my weight's good, probably better than it has been, so. You know, I just think staying on top of my diet, like even outside of fight camp, has really helped and benefited me.
There's been a lot of ups and downs kind of for you in the UFC so far. What do you have to do to get on a consistent run, in your opinion, and kind of string together results?
Just go out there and do what I do. You know, I think my last loss was Park, but arguably won that fight. You know, just maybe be a little bit more active, a little more punch count, strike count, and whatnot, like wrestle, finish takedowns, things like that.
Eryk, I think you surprised a few people recently by saying you've only got 5 fights left and you're going to call it a career. What was the thought process behind that decision, and why 5 in particular?
Because 5 puts me at 20 UFC fights. I think that's like a really good. Not a lot of people get that many fights in the UFC, you know. So my kids are getting older, so. You know, it's time for me to kind of not really transition into like father role because I'm like very active in their lives, but you know, going away for 2 months at a time, and being gone fighting and then needing surgery, and then even when I get home, you know, I'm sitting in a cast on the couch or whatever. So, you know, it's just time for me to like put more into them, and you know, I'm already 36. You know what I mean? So, you know, I kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, it is kind of a self-imposed deadline, but does this change the way you approach fights? Do you kind of go into this like with a now or never mentality?
Not really. You know, the belt used to mean a lot to me. Having like being in the top 15 used to matter a lot. But now I just want to put on entertaining fights and you know, entertain the crowd, hear the cheers and things like that. And you know, yeah.
Last one for me. I mean, you mentioned Canada not being, you know, a hostile territory. Really, you've got some experience up here. You played with the CFL's Calgary Stampeders, right?
That's right.
Any fond memories you can share?
Man, I just, I mean, not really. You know, that's so long ago. But I really like Canada. You know, especially you know this part of Canada is very beautiful. Never been to Vancouver first time. I'm just kind of like taken back by the water and the mountains and, you know, all the stuff that's going on around here.
Eryk, over here. How's it going?
What's going on, James? Hey, what's up, man? Where the NFL Blitz at?
We're playing after.
All right, cool.
Okay, yeah, we have it on video here, so you're accountable. Where did you train for this fight? Because I know you had your last couple of camps at Fight Ready. If I'm not mistaken, you're not there anymore. Where did you do your training camp this time around?
I switched over to the lab.
Okay, excellent.
So I'm still in Phoenix. And,
right.
Yeah.
How has that been over there? There's some big bodies over there. Jared Cannon here. You know, who did you have a chance to work with this time around?
My corner, Alec Lorenz, one of my main training partners. Jared, of course, you know, top, you know, 4 or 5 in the middleweight division. So, you know, Yeah, it's been good. It's been great. You know, those guys really took me in with open arms and, you know, poured a lot of time, effort, and energy into me. So I'm really appreciative for those guys.
How long has that switch been? When did you make the move over there?
Pretty much right after my last fight. You know, I kind of fell victim to some political nonsense, you know, between... I didn't have anything to do with it. You know, I'm just kind of like a casualty of...
Yeah, no, I know the story. I already know what happened. But yeah, that's, at least you found it home at the lab. Is it the same sort of thing as last time where you're out there, you're away from your family, you're kind of on your own, renting an apartment, kind of like Rocky style, just with nicer weather?
Yeah, well, it's hot, you know. I don't know about nicer weather because you kind of melt every time you burn your hand on the steering wheel and the seatbelt when you get in the car. But yeah, Arizona's beautiful. I love Phoenix, and I like the vibe of the city, and it kind of helps me get in that mode.
You're good friends with Julian Marquez. He fought Marc-Andre in his last fight. Did you speak to him at all ahead of this fight? I know you have different styles, but did you ever pick his brain about preparation?
Yeah, of course, you know, but I don't kiss and tell, so, you know, he kind of gave me some insight, and yeah, but to be honest, man, it's really kind of hard to, like, listen to somebody, not really listen, but, like, I take it with a grain of salt, because, you know, when you lose, you get TKO'd, it's embarrassing, so you don't want to, like, admit to yourself, like, your faults, and, you know, that person was better on that night, so I kind of take it with a grain of salt.
And just last one for me, you know, you mentioned there a couple more fights left, or 5, I should say. That's actually more than a couple. You have a lot of things going on outside the cage, I know, and that's something we've talked about in our interviews. You know, how set are you sort of after this with some of the things you have established business-wise outside the UFC?
I'm good, you know. I can live comfortably right now if I want to, but man, I really love fighting. It's still a passion that burns inside me, so you know, I kind of want to wear it out and you know, ride off into the sunset.
Hey Eryk, just one to your left over here. It doesn't feel like that long ago that we were talking about this dude, Eryk Anders, third fight, headlining in Brazil opposite Lyoto Machida. As we approach, you know, 5 fights is still quite a bit, but as we approach that, when you look back on your career, what kind of stands out most fondly? What do you take away the most?
You know, I'm the kind of guy who showed up every time, put on entertaining fights, win, lose, or draw. You know, you can't say that you don't like my fights, that you don't like to watch my fights. You know, it's pretty violent, and yeah, you know, I just want to kind of be known as that guy who showed up and showed out every time.
Thank you. Eryk, what happened to your old gym? Or can you not really speak on it?
I really don't want to talk about it because, like I said, it ain't got nothing to do with me, and you know, it just, you know, it's got caught in the crossfire there.
That's fair. How many of those Chef Boyardee shirts did you sell?
About 100.
Yeah. Who designed that shirt?
I mean, I picked like how I wanted it to look, and you know, somebody else like put in all the work to get it made. I just hope that Campbell or whoever makes Chef Boyardee doesn't come after me. You know.
Did you ever get your hands on Dean Thomas?
Nah, I think he's gonna be here now, but you know, I think he's here this week, so
You wrote on site, right?
on site. He already knows what's up. Maybe he doesn't show up. I don't know.
To your left over here. Before coming into your last fight, you talked about how at the time it was the lowest you were coming into a fight, both mentally and physically. Wondering if it gives you confidence coming into this week, assuming that you're feeling better than you did last time, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you know, you kind of find like a different motivation to get up every day and go fight. And you know, the gym is kind of my happy place, if you will. So regardless of what's going on in my personal life and things like that, you know, you kind of forget about everything when you walk through the gym and start training and, you know, do all that other stuff, because at that moment in time, that's all that matters.
Just one. Just wanted a prediction for the main event between Nunes and Aldana.
No, I think that Nunes gets it done. I think that I'd have to assume that wrestling is going to be part of her game plan. Irene Aldana's got really good, crisp boxing. That's where she's most dangerous. So, you know, I think that, you know, she wants to retain her belt. And, you know, Nunes has knockout power too, but I think that maybe she tries to get her tired early on and then, you know, either finishes her on the ground or, you know, gives her that work on the feet.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.